All right, well, welcome into the broadcast from Bobcat TV. We are with you here for homecoming night. It is going to be a cat fight tonight between the Marana Tigers here in Vail, Arizona to go against the Cienega Bobcats. I'm Jacob Greenberg, joined alongside Jason Miller as the Marana Tigers, a team that torched the Cienega defense last year, is back. And Trenton Bourget is back too. Yeah, Trenton Bourget is back. Marana, the Tigers are back, but I'll tell you who's not back is Tion Simmons. Tion Simmons lit up the Bobcat secondary last year for 138 yards and 3 touchdowns. Trenton Bourget is a senior. He's an excellent quarterback. He's a prototypical high school quarterback who's a dual threat. Completes 71% of his passes, which is such a high percentage. 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The quarterback rating of 122.5. The hype is with him as well. He was named as the #1 player in Southern Arizona by the Arizona Daily Star before the season began. Terrell Hayward was the 3rd ranked player on that list, and Bourget is a serious deal. Now, he's coming back from a concussion, so 2 weeks ago against Buena, he suffered a concussion on his 2nd pass attempt of the game and was knocked out. He has 2 younger brothers. His little brother, Coben, is a junior wide receiver who is an excellent target, also excels on defense. And the youngest brother is the freshman, and yes, Trayson Bourget, number 20. So he got some reps last week. He played 2 weeks ago. He took over for his big brother, but certainly he's not at that level yet. He has the potential to be better, but you're right. Trenton Bourget is an absolute threat. Marana puts points on the board. They are a dangerous team coming in at 5-2. Their only 2 losses of the year were to Williams Field, 33-14, and to Buena, 41-28. Without Trenton Bourget, the superlative senior quarterback. You're right, Jacob. He torched the Cats last year. Yeah. 5 touchdown passes and 1 interception, and a quarterback rating of 130.5 last year. And that #1 ranking for Southern Arizona, that's a big deal. Number 2 was South Point Catholic's Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson. He's the running back. He's got offers from most of the Pac-12 schools. Right. And then you know the player Terrell Hayward is. So being #1 on that list just shows how great of a player Trenton is. Well, we'll see. I will take Terrell Hayward over just about any player in the state of Arizona. You can certainly make an argument for Hay that he could be the #1 player ranked, but when it comes down to it, I think what these players mostly care about is, can we pick up wins, right? And the Cats are in an excellent position here tonight at 6-1, a chance to clinch the conference championship if they beat Marana tonight and take care of business. Nogales next week, and then 2 weeks from tonight, Ironwood Ridge will come in. We know how tough Ironwood Ridge traditionally is. So maybe down a little bit this season in terms of record, but another looming threat. But the Cats here tonight on homecoming, brand new jerseys, beautiful jerseys. Gray with copper accents, white numbers, white letters, players' last names emblazoned on the back or stitched in, embroidered on the back of the jerseys. The Cats are ready to go tonight, Jacob. Bobcats on a 4-game win streak. They haven't lost a home game since 2015. They won last week in Sierra Vista against Buena, 31-14. Marana, they won 20-13 last week against Ironwood Ridge. Captains for tonight: Thomas Webb Jr., Diego Rivas, Luis Morales, and Frank. Is that Frank Anaya? Yes. Yep, and for Marana, number 5, their quarterback, Trenton Bourget. Number 8, Diego Miranda, one of their captains, another senior wide receiver, dangerous target. Number 9, TJ Seffers, who is their leading tackler, is also a senior. And their last captain tonight, a senior as well. Number 77, Jordan Morgan, the massive 6'5", 265 offensive lineman for the Tigers of Marana High School. New coach this year, Luis Ramirez, taking over the reins after a very long, successful period for the Tigers. And all those names that you just named for the captains, they sound familiar from last year. So the players they brought up that were in the junior class last year, the great players for the Marana Tigers. Yeah, and experience, right? So experienced team here, a team that's trying to take that next step to be among the elite teams in Tucson. If they can get past Cienega High School tonight, that would be a big accomplishment for this program. The Cats, of course, very proud. Sterling record the last 2.5 seasons. Only 1 loss in the last 3 years in the regular season combined under Pat Nugent. So you know the Bobcats will be ready to go here tonight. The crowd energized.
The student section energized. You can feel the electricity with so much at stake here tonight in terms of power points for the state of Arizona.
Yeah, and there's a lot at stake. In the 5A Southern, Marana is 1 game behind the Bobcats. So if they win here tonight, they'll take that first place spot over the Bobcats. So
and you can hear the wind, Jacob. Yeah. So we've got some blustery winds here blowing from right to left, and the wind could be a factor here tonight.
So like you said, it's Louis Ramirez now in at head coach. It's his first season. He took over from Andy Litton last year. Andy Litton coached from 2012 to 2017. Why would Andy Litton go off last year, not this year?
I think that he just went to pursue other opportunities because Andy Litton did a tremendous job of resurrecting this Marana Tiger program, which was moribund and, for all intents and purposes, a program that was in decline and a program that was dormant. So now we have a program that is vibrant, thriving in the northwest part of Tucson, and the Tigers here ready to go. They look like LSU. They have very similar colored helmets, and the design on their jerseys is also Tiger-esque, right? So the LSU Tigers, we have the Marana Tigers here tonight.
Ezra Figueroa to kick off here. Marana will receive first. And here we go in the cat fight in Vail, Arizona, into the end zone, and the Marana Tigers will start at the 20.
That's a big deal. I talked to Ezra Figueroa on Wednesday morning. He's also a candidate here for Homecoming King, I believe, along with his girlfriend, Madison Whites. I saw the two of them Wednesday morning, and I asked him very pointedly, all right, Ezra, you're a tremendous kicker. You're perfect on extra points this year, 33 for 33. You're great with field goals with the range. The third element is your kickoffs. What's the difference? He said practice. Then I asked him about the weight room, and he said yes. He acknowledged that the weight room, all the work he does with Steve Schween, is the piece that put him over the top here in terms of his kickoffs.
Here's Trenton, 5 receivers lined up. Diego Moran in motion, looking left, it is complete. Oh, ball comes loose, but it's incomplete.
It's a good stick by Josiah Ware to pop that football loose. And that was Zoeus Ratliff, and he goes by Zoe. It's X-O-E-I-U-S, Ratliff. He's a senior. A pretty good pass receiver out of the backfield with 17 catches, averaging 9.9 a reception. He is their leading rusher, averaging 5.2 yards per carry. They will hand the ball off to Zoe Ratliff, number 21, a player to watch out for tonight.
There it goes to Zoe. Ooh, nice hurdle there to get him some extra yards. And that will bring up 3rd down.
Jacob Acosta on the tackle. And what you saw there is what you'll see all night here from the Tigers. Exotic formations and players going in motion to try to confuse the defense. And they really love to throw the football. They'll do that about 60% of the time. That accounts for 60% of their yardage on the season. And Trenton Bouquet is a high volume passer. He'll be throwing often tonight. Very comfortable throwing the football.
And it's screen. Oh, Zoeus Ratliff. Ball in and out of his hands, incomplete.
Classic looking ahead before he secured the catch. Ball was right there, maybe a little bit high, but right at his shoulder pad level. Very catchable football. He was looking upfield, trying to get extra yardage before he made that catch. And that's not how Louis Ramirez wanted these Tigers to open up on their opening drive of the game.
It's number 33, David
Bertelsen.
Bertelsen on the punt.
He's also their kicker.
Runs and punts it, and it's Terrell Hayward. Terrell Hayward's going to pick it up and try and run. Flag on the play. And gets to the 30-yard line.
So it'll be a 50-yard punt net here, although there's a flag down, and it looks like an illegal block in the back there against the return team. There should be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So it happened at the 20, it should take him down to the 10-yard line.
that play there, usually the receiver on that punt would just let that ball go, but Terrell Hayward, having the confidence in himself, coaches having confidence in him, picks it up even when Marana defenders are coming at him.
Yeah, and I think he picked it up because he'll do that a lot of times. He'll wait a little bit, hesitate, and then pounce. That ball would have rolled an extra 15 or 20 yards potentially. So good job by Hayward to pick it up.
And now it's Luis Morales Jr. in at quarterback. Here's the handoff to Diego Ruby. First down. Good run there by Ruby.
Yep, 12 yards on the carry. Ruby he's very similar to Terrell Hayward. They're similar in size, they're similar in skill sets, and we've really seen Diego Ruby break out this year as a wide receiver. Big playmaker as a punt returner, as a kick returner. He excels in different aspects of the game. Nice run.
And this one goes to Terrell Hayward this time. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, still going left side, and finally gets pushed out by Coben Bourget.
Looks like about 25 yards on the run play. There were two blocks. One was a seal from Thomas Webb that really sprang Terrell Hayward coming around. Ethan White, the other senior wide receiver, number 12, with another good block on his man. And then it's just Terrell Hayward doing his thing. Hyper athletic, number 7.
This one goes to Thomas. No. What happened there?
It was a little play fake, and Luis held on to the football, and it looked like 77 Jordan Morgan on the tackle. That big defensive right end there at 6'5", 265 was not going for the fake. I was faked out too, Jacob. I thought it was Webb on the carry.
Wow, Jordan Morgan's got some size down there.
Right, he stands out. 6'5", you don't see players like that at 265. He projects as a pass rushing defensive end or a linebacker at the next level.
Luis Morales to throw, and Terrell Hayward is down while he catches it as his knee hits the turf.
Nice way to chip away at that. Extra yardage you're looking at here, a gain of 7. It makes it a manageable 3rd down and 6 here.
Good show up there for the Marana Tigers. As expected, they have a good football program.
Yeah, they're wearing as well. I see a lot of big socks out there. The Bobcats, no very surprised here. As October is Hispanic Heritage, it's also Bobcats are wearing. That's why a lot of athletes will be wearing pink out there.
Except the cheerleaders really have their pink on now.
Very nice.
Morales escapes the pressure, is going to keep it.
Beautiful.
Nice job getting through that hole.
8 yards. It looked like a designed quarterback draw. Morales has been flashing his wheels in recent weeks, and for the season averaging 3.4 yards per carry. 41 carries now on the season for him. A nice way to thread his way forward, and that knifing lunge at the end to pick up the 1st down.
The offensive lineman Daniel Hernandez lost his helmet on the play, so it's Isaiah Albers in there to cover him for one play.
Yep, he'll spell him for one play. Hernandez, 66, the senior, does such a great job there manning or anchoring that offensive line.
Cienega has gone with the same look a lot here. And here's Ruby right side. This one's a big one. Pushed out.
.22 yards on the carry. Sergio Torres, the senior, number 13 on the other side at wide receiver, was trying to just have one more block there. Diego may have been able to have taken that one all the way. I think it was Diego Miranda, number 8 on the tackle for the Tigers.
Cassa now in the red zone, sponsored by
Pyramid Federal Credit Union for all of your banking needs.
Morales keeps. Austin Warner on the tackle. Handoff goes to Gio Owens, gets into a pile. Couple there on the play.
Yeah, it's good to see Gio factoring back into the rotation there at running back. 6.6 yards per carry. Webb at 5.0 yards a carry. Caleb Beard at 8.2 yards a carry. He broke off a beautiful 60-plus yard run last Friday down at Sierra Vista as the Cats beat Buena High School. Caleb Beard, a hard-working running back. Pat Nugent, fortunate to have 4 top shelf running backs in that rotation.
Third down. 3rd and 7. Morales looking right, has pressure, and it is number 7, Tariq Jordan, who I remember from last year.
Yep, he wrapped him up. No escaping that. He was right there, and he pounced on him. And we'll see Ezra here now. Ezra has the wind at his back. That's going to be an important factor here. It'll be a 40-yard field goal attempt here for Ezra, and that is definitely within his range. He's 2 for 3 on the season on field goals. 25 is his long.
Oh, nice kick by Ezra Figueroa. It is in with the wind at his back. Cats lead 3-0.
That barely cleared the crossbar. He just hooked that over the near corner of the crossbar. But a nice job there from Ezra with a boost from the wind to put the Cats on top, 3-0.
And that's what makes kickers great there, when they can do it with the wind and they have to alter their kick. I'll tell you what, I'm blowing away here a little bit. And you have that ball, he needs to kick it just right for it to go in those goalposts.
You're right, and I don't think it's not a straight right to left wind. Jacob, we're looking at the wind to the left, and it's blowing the goalposts to our left are blowing toward the left through the end zone. The goalposts on the right, so the flags are kind of swirling around, and the American flag, which is to the far right off the screen behind the scoreboard, is blowing from upper right corner to lower right corner on your screen. So we have, I would describe them as swirling winds around here. A very tricky variable to navigate through for Ezra Figueroa, who puts the Cats up 3-0.
Kickoff here will be returnable. It is Ratcliffe to around the 23-yard line.
Jacob Acosta on the tackle, and 41, Dylan Silva, the sophomore, also there for the assist on the tackle. Nice coverage there in special teams.
Oh, Diego Ruby with the tackle right away. Diego Miranda on the catch.
Not playing Diego Ruby on that one. 5 wide outs, 2 near side, 3 to the far side. A pro set offense here for Marana, and a wide receiver screen, and Ruby all over it. Textbook tackling there, wrapping up with both hands and then driving the player into the turf.
Ratcliffe from out of the backfield and wrapped up right away. It is
Mattis.
Yep, Zach Mattis there to get him right away.
With a suplex, right? So that's his mano-a-mano. How big are you? How big am I? Who's stronger? Ratcliffe at 6'1", 185. And Mattis at 6'2", 212. finishing up the play beautifully. Boy, the Cats are just pouncing tonight on defense. Got to be encouraged. Brett Darling, the defensive coordinator, has to like what he's seeing here from this defense early tonight.
And Ratcliffe's probably got a lot of muscle because
Yes.
Zach Mattis take him down right away.
Yes.
We know what Zach Mattis looks like.
Nice catch. Beautiful catch in traffic there. 15 yards and a first down and a nice tackle. I think it was Webb on the tackle. May have been Diego Rivas on the tackle.
Reception by Tariq Jordan.
Nice catch in traffic. Very fluid on the reception for him. That's only his 10th catch of the season. And he's now got 122 yards, averaging over 12 yards a reception with 2 touchdowns.
I assume that he's mostly a defense player by that tackle he made.
I would also maybe assume that maybe he's been out or missed some games because he factored into the party last year as a receiver. Well, it feels like playoff football, Jacob. The temperature out here, 61, which we know is not cold, but when you're accustomed to 6 months of 100 degrees, pretty much straight through, then 60, a 40-degree drop in temperature is chilly.
Speaking about playoff football, the Bobcats beat the Marana Tigers last season to end the Tigers season in the second round. It was 38-35. Jamari Joyner in that game with 322 yards, 245 rushing yards as Morales keeps there. And Terrell Hayward had 172 yards receiving, and Nathan Amico with 8 tackles in that game.
It's funny because I forgot about that playoff game. I was so focused on that week 2 epic shootout over at Marana High School, the 57-50 game, in which Jamari scored 7 touchdowns or accounted for 7 touchdowns last year in a superhuman effort at the high school level. Interesting to see Trent Bourget sliding. You will see that often tonight. He has to protect his head from another blow to the helmet to prevent another concussion.
Bourget to throw. It's to his brother Coben. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and DiMaggio Strave gets him.
Nifty little run there after the catch by Coben Bourget, the younger brother of Trenton. His 17th catch of the season. He's got 377 yards now, 23 yards per reception, 3 touchdowns. He also has 3 interceptions on the defensive side as a 2-way player as a defensive back.
From what I heard is Coben plays quarterback at the junior varsity level. And I'm guessing next year Trayson will be the starting quarterback, and they'll keep Coben at wide receiver at the varsity level. And
maybe a backup quarterback. The Bourget dynasty at Marana High School.
And it's Coben there. Maybe some extra pushing.
Looks like 5 on the catch. A quick first quarter here, Jacob. We have 1:30 on the clock. The Cats from Skanega up on top 3-0. There's Isaiah Roebuck, number 23, the sophomore on the catch. He's got 25 catches for 395, 15.8 yards per reception, 2 touchdowns. So there are multiple weapons out here on offense. We've been seeing them here. Coben Bourget, number 4, Diego Miranda, number 8, Zoius Ratliff, number 21, the running back, Isaiah Roebuck, 23, the receiver. So Miranda can throw the ball around and spread the wealth, and Trent Bourget adept at doing that.
Bourget to Ratcliffe, and it's Thomas Webb, the shoelace tackle.
Yeah, right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1. But you can see how comfortable Bourget is throwing the football. He can throw the ball 50 or 60 times a game, and it's not a problem. He's used to doing that. He plays in that Tucson Turf League, Go Green Co Local, and they won a national championship in flag football.
Oh, yeah.
So he and Diego Miranda very familiar with one another. Isaiah Roebuck as well on that team. These guys are just slinging the rock around there, just playing some wide open football. Looks like a false start
what
here.
level was that, you said?
That's for the flag football. I don't know what different levels that there are, but
Trenton was playing?
yeah, Trenton's a quarterback on that national championship. It's 7-on-7 flag football, and actually it's an offsides here against the Cats.
And one of the brothers was playing. They were in the national championship for flag football for the youth, and they actually played at halftime at the Pro Bowl. I think it was last year or 2 years ago.
The NFL Pro Bowl game?
The NFL Pro Bowl.
Do they still play that in Hawaii?
No, it's in Orlando now.
Okay, it used to be in Honolulu back in the day.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool hearing, from Marana, this football program. And it is intercepted at the 10-yard line. It's Terrell Hayward.
Hayward on the pick. I had to come up with a better nickname for Terrell Hayward because he's so good.
Yeah.
And he just blipped out of nowhere and made that catch. And a nice tackle there by one of the receivers. I think it was Diego Miranda on the tackle for the Tigers.
So that is Trenton Morgay's 5th interception of the year.
Right, so those numbers are not as good as they were last year. And I think for Terrell Hayward, his 3rd interception of the season, he is the leader in that category for the Cats. Leader in so many categories: receiving, punt return, kick return, interceptions, pass defense. His quarterback rating is perfect because he has 2 for 2 throwing the football.
And off to Owens coming left side. Owens breaks one tackle coming down left side. Here he goes. Oh, ref's going to say he stepped out of bounds. And he's frustrated. Either he doesn't think he stepped out of bounds or, yeah, he doesn't think he stepped out of bounds. Still a good run there by Gio Owens.
27 yards on the carry. You'll see on film when you watch this that Caleb Beard sprang him on that one, and it was a beautiful block there where he locked up and engaged, I think, the linebacker on the outside near side. But it was a great nifty little Olay move, like a matador at a bull ring there from Gio Owens, flashing the wheels.
And I remember in that shootout last year, he had a big game. And he had one fumble in that game too, which was a big one. Caleb Beard there on the run. Yeah, but big game last year for Gio Owens against Marana.
Yes.
And then do you remember that play? He broke out and just got stripped from behind.
That's the other thing that sticks in my mind. Nice tackle there from Chance Lamey, number 55, the junior linebacker. But I'd like to see Caleb Beard running the football. For Caleb, it's one step laterally, and always the next step is going to be vertically or north-south as a runner. The classic textbook runner that coaches and offensive linemen and offensive line coaches love to see. But you're right, I remember Gio last year with a huge run and a little bit of an issue with him holding on to and possessing the football. But boy, if he can keep that aspect together, then he is a breakaway running back for me, a guy that could break a run at any time from any part on the field.
Did you say the score of that shootout last year?
57-50.
And you want to know what the score was after the first quarter?
Yeah, it was low.
3-0, the Cats led. And here's some of the stats in those games. Trenton Morgay threw for 477 yards, with 5 touchdown throws. Jamari Joyner had 239 yards throwing, 2 touchdown throws. Terrell Hayward, 165 yards receiving. Cienega was actually the one coming back in that game. They scored 30 points in the 4th quarter.
Crazy. Many of those on the legs of Jamari Joyner. Remember, Trey White was a big factor on some 4th down throws late in the game that had to be converted.
Not saying the score is going to be 57-50 here. No Tion Simmons, no Jamari Joyner.
But we're expecting more points. Oh, Gio, there he goes.
Another tackle.
There goes Gio.
He wasn't happy about the last one, and Gio Owens in for a touchdown.
60 yards. There's your home run threat at running back.
He broke 1 tackle, and that was all he needed to put 6 on the board.
Yeah, it was an arm tackle. And I think it was Chance Lamey at the near side defensive end who had a paw on him. Gio shrugged it off like, get off me. And off he went to the races.
Figueroa's extra point is good. 10-0 Cats lead. 11:48 to go in the second.
That was a great handling of a relatively high snap there from Luis Morales Jr., who is so good not only at quarterback but also as the placeholder on field goals and extra points. Reaching up there to grab an errant snap, put it down quickly and get his hand out of the way, and Ezra drilling it through. He is perfect on extra points this season. I think now he's 34 for 34 on the season. Touchdown brought to you by Steamy Concepts. Don't get steamed, call Steamy. Gio Owens breaking out for a 60-yard touchdown run. Younger brother of Lyric Owens.
Football player?
No, Lyric was she was a swimmer.
Oh, she.
Yeah. I think she was a freestylist. Good student too. Not one of mine, but I know she was a strong academic performer as well.
It's Roebuck who's going to step out of bounds.
Ooh, he didn't want any piece of that.
Not
Right?
Chris Burrows.
He didn't want Chris Burrows. 23 against 23. He took 2 steps and saw Burrows chasing down at him, and he stepped out of bounds. This will surprise you, Jacob. The 3rd leading tackler on Senega's defense, Chris Burrows.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Their number 1 leading tackler is Jacob Acosta. Their 2nd leading tackler is Zach Mattis. And it's a tie for 3rd with Diego Ruby for leading tackler on that team. Chris Burrows, 23, the scrappy safety for the Cats.
Handoff here to the big number 9, TJ Seffers, but Cienega gets him right away.
I'd love to see that body language there from DiMaggio Streve, the right end. You see Anthony Williams there, part of that tackle. There are a lot of players that bounced into TJ Seffers, and the Cats are showing you here tonight the mindset is we're going to swarm to the football, and we don't care if there's a first person there, a second person. It's going to be 3, 4, sometimes 5 hats that are going to be joining into the fray here, tackling.
5 receivers lined up for the Tigers. Trenta Morgay looking to throw, but knows going to take it himself. And it's Jacob Acosta right away to get him.
And Acosta is saying, no, I'll have none of that either. So I'm loving the body language I'm seeing here from these players out on the field. They're dialed in here tonight. And I think the defense has accepted a challenge from Brett Darling to dial it in from the opening whistle of this game here tonight. We've seen it.
The coverage from the Cats has done so great tonight. I don't see these Marana receivers breaking the coverage as much as they did last year, and that's why they're having trouble here.
Nope, and Webb back there at a free safety position, along with Terrell Hayward.
Plenty of time here to get off the throw. And it is complete to number 30, Sebastian Orsini.
He's going to be short of a first down by about 4 yards. So with the ball at this point of the field inside their own 30-yard line at the 27, Marana is forced to punt.
Oh,
fake!
It's a fake, and he's going to get the first down and
fake.
more. And that is a first down for the Marana Tigers. Good fake there.
15 yards on the run by David Bertelsen. And I love the call at that moment from Luis Ramirez. The Cats there on special teams, you can't blame them for being a little bit asleep at the wheel, but they were caught napping unaware.
And I remember them doing that last year in the shootout. So Luis Ramirez might have been on the coaching staff of Andy Litton from last year. Learned some things from him.
Oh, beautiful fake there. Bertelsen looking like he was going into his normal punting motion, and then off he went. Fumble!
And the Cats do have it. Terrell Hayward on Thomas Webb Jr. on top of it.
And Burrows, I think, came up with a football. Boy, that kid at 5'9", I think 135, is Chris Burrows. 5'8", 134. He has such a nose for the football. We've seen him make some crazy plays here on special teams, on defense, and another player like Sergio Torres who has a nose for the football. Just knows exactly where to get into it. That's a big turnover here for the Cats after that big 4th down conversion from Marana. That's the momentum right back to the Cats here with excellent field position at the Tiger 47-yard line.
The Cats are 2 for 2 on scoring so far in their offensive drives. We had an Ezra Figueroa field goal and a Gio Owens 60-yard touchdown run. They're going to go for 3 for 3 here as Luis Morales hands off to Thomas Webb Jr.
Oh,
Thomas
nice.
Webb Jr. first down as it's 31, Ben Caudell on the tackle.
Shades of Saquon Barkley if you watched that game last night. The hurdle in mid-action, a gain of 12 on the play from Webb. Very nicely done.
Now here's Gio Owens who breaks for another good run. First down.
And it looked like it was Tyron McKinney, 57, the pulling guard from the left guard position coming along there to blast out a nice hole. And the Tigers will call a timeout. It gives me a quick second here to acknowledge the offensive line for Cienega, the position that doesn't get much spotlight or attention. Andrew Huspelt, number 55, the sophomore, at left tackle, 6'3", 230. The left guard is Tyron McKinney, whom I just mentioned, 5'11", 245. Daniel Hernandez, number 66, is the center, the senior, 6'0", 255. Quintero Rodabert, the senior, 6'1", 230 at right guard. And Darian Torres, number 71, 6'3", 280, the senior. There's your starting offensive line for the Cats.
One thing that we should acknowledge here as we keep talking about last year with Jamari Joyner and Trenton is Jamari Joyner is now at the University of Arizona. Got a drive last week against the California Golden Bears because Khalil Tate's ankle was hurting him. To be honest with you, I think he's getting some more drives tonight.
That's interesting, and I didn't realize the Cats or the Wildcats from Arizona were playing tonight. I heard it on the radio. I listened to K-Hit. It's one of my favorite channels in town. And they announced that the game was being played tonight, which was a surprise. They're playing at Utah. I hope they don't ruin Jamari's eligibility. Like, that's the one thing that concerns me. Wearing number 10. On homecoming night, of all occasions, to pull Thomas Webb, who is a Sterling student, a high-character kid, part of the Fellowship of Christian Students, and he is being escorted off the field here, it looks like, by the team doctor, Tyan Dean. Webb can't believe it.
He had some last words there for the official.
What would warrant an ejection here at 4:10 in the second quarter? It'll be a 23-yard field goal attempt here for Ezra Figueroa with the wind in his face.
And it is good from Ezra Figueroa, but there is a flag on the play. I think it's roughing the kicker there.
Late flag.
13-0 Cats lead, so as of right now. We'll see what the flag is.
I think it's against Jesse Valenzuela. He's a junior, number 15, 5'10", 185. That's a beautiful kick there. 33 yards from Ezra with a headwind. I think the wind blowing in his face. So able to put, it looked like an extra 10 yards of distance on that field goal. Even more impressive when you consider his first field goal, which was 40 yards. He just had enough to clear the crossbar. So it looks like about 40, 45 yards might be about the range here of Ezra Figueroa. Beautiful kicker. 3 of 4 on the season now on field goals. And now a 40-yard field goal his long, and now a 33-yard field goal here tonight. No penalty. The field goal is good. Cats up 13-0. Jacob, I'm stunned. I'm stunned that Thomas Webb Jr. was ejected here tonight. I would have a very difficult time having any justification given to me by any of the referees or the officials that are down on the field. I'm going to try to find out at halftime what the reason was for his ejection. That'll be a fun little experiment for me, a little scavenger hunt. I'm sure the referees will be thrilled to talk to me tonight.
Roebuck here running all the way to the right side. He has room. Has to get through two defenders. Ezra Figueroa with the nice tackle there.
Touchdown saving tackle.
Dived for his legs. Able to stop him. But that's a good return there for the Marana Tigers. Hopefully, not hopefully, maybe the sparks offense here for the Tigers.
And I'll call that one a 40-yard return here if he caught the ball at the 5-yard line, which I think he did. But a great tackle there by Ezra, laying his body out there on the line, 5'10", 155, tackling the larger Roebuck, who's 5'11", 185. So a nice job there to prevent Roebuck from running that one back to the house.
Ratcliffe in motion. Marana with a few, Bourget with a few fakes, and then he'll keep it himself. It's a few yards on the run.
Yep, design bootleg. So the play action with the runner faking to the near side, and then Bourget is keeping it on the bootleg. So 3 yards for all that effort. And I know that he is compromised now. He is not the same quarterback that he was having that concussion against Plana 2 weeks ago. Cats bringing pressure.
Looking to throw here to complete to Coben Bourget. Bourget will break a tackle for a first down. Sebastian Felix on the push out there.
Nice cover guy as a sophomore, number 29. Right there to put the finishing touches on that. Mattis had his hands wrapped around the receiver, and then Felix finished off the tackle. 3:33 on the clock here.
Plenty of time here for Bourget. Just throws it out of the backfield to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe. Good yardage there. Sebastian Felix again on the tackle.
13 yards on the catch and run there by Zoeus Ratcliffe, or Zoe as he prefers to be called. And a timeout now taken by the Cats. So defensively, Cienega a little bit reeling here, trying to slow things down and get reset on defense because they don't like how things are progressing here. With 3:13 on the clock and a first down at the Cat 31-yard line, the Tigers are a very dangerous team, especially knowing how adept they are throwing the football with Trent Bourget.
I'm curious to hear some Thomas Webb Jr. news.
I'm going down at halftime, Jacob. I want to find out what's the deal.
He's missed a few games with injuries, and now he gets ejected here in the second quarter, so.
It's unfortunate. You're taking away an opportunity from a kid who has thrived in this system as a freshman at quarterback on the freshman team, and a stalwart defender and weapon on offense since his sophomore year on the varsity level. One of the captains on the team, a vocal leader who leads by example, and somebody who plays the game with passion. So it is very difficult to see him missing a couple of games, and now tonight with injury, and then tonight getting ejected.
Bourget running right side. Dumps it off to 7, Tariq Jordan. Was that the one who had 9 receptions before tonight? Tariq Jordan?
Yeah, Tariq, just 9 catches, so he's got 2 here tonight. So you can see he's flashing all the skills you want to see in a wide receiver. Good sized target at 6'3", 205. Silky smooth with the moves and some quick acceleration and good hands. The whole package there at wide receiver, number 7, Tariq Jordan.
First and 10 here from the 20 for the Tigers. Ratliff there.
And out of bounds. Jacob, this is interesting. Brett Darling is up on top of the press box. Usually he's down there on the field. So as a coach, you're able to see the chessboard, as it were, the entire field and all the pieces, all the personnel on the field much more clearly than if you're just down on the sideline. So Brett Darling up here on top of the box.
I think he's a lot more animated down there on the field, but I think I would have heard it by now. Right. Bourget escapes DiMaggio Streve, and ooh, nice throw there and catch from Trenton Bourget to Tariq Jordan, and now I hear Brett Darling.
Yeah, so I think that Brett thinks that that receiver was maybe out of bounds on that catch. And you see Bourget flashing his skills with the elusiveness at the quarterback position, or the elusivity at the quarterback position, able to break free and then throw off the run. So deftly from that position. Nice catch from Jordan, who's very active tonight at the receiver position.
Tigers making a nice drive here. It's gonna be Anthony Williams, Diego Rivas there on the stop.
Rivas a solid player.
Yep. Maybe
overlooked a little bit with the other higher profile skill set players that are out on the field. But Diego Rivas does a solid job at linebacker.
That surprised me, the fact he's tied with Chris Burrows in tackles.
Right.
Last year, Diego Rivas led the team in tackles. Still having a great season, Diego Rivas. Trenton Bourget lobs one over the top, intended for Ratliff. Incomplete.
Yeah, and that's a mismatch, right? So you have DiMaggio Streve, who has been fantastic at that right defensive end position. But for him at 6'2", 225, to try to match up with Ratliff, who is a much more mobile and elusive running back, pretty good job there from DiMaggio to shadow him and be in his vicinity. We have a penalty here, moving back the Tigers to the 25-yard line.
It's going to be a holding against the offense.
And a replay of second down.
That's a big backup there. Second down, 5 receivers running out. To Coben Bourget. Oh! Caught, and that's a touchdown. Trenton Bourget to his younger brother, Coben Bourget, for a Marana Tigers touchdown.
That was in traffic. That was Coben Bourget looking over his left shoulder, and that was his big brother Trenton dropping the ball in a teacup. Right there in the perfect spot. And it was good coverage there from Cienega back on defense, but a great catch by Coben in traffic, 25 yards on the touchdown reception. Made it look pretty easy.
Weird formation here, but yeah, good coverage, but a better catch there from Coben.
An exotic formation. We'll see what the Tigers end up doing here on their extra point.
That looks familiar, what they just did. Can't recall from where though.
Maybe collegiately. Bertelsen 13 for 16 on extra points. Now he's 14 for 17 on extra points. The Tigers strike back with a 25-yard touchdown reception from Coben Bourget on the reception from Trenton Bourget.
I'm scared to look at Coach Darling here. 13-7.
You don't have to look. It's like Indiana Jones or Raiders of the Lost Ark. Don't look, Jacob. Keep your eyes closed. You don't have to look at it.
.143 to go in the second.
That's a huge drive from Marana. Throwing the football primarily.
This kick is going to be a penalty. Weird kick there.
Oh, that's a gift. Was it Bertelsen on the kickoff?
Not sure.
Well, that was an errant kick regardless. So the Cats will have 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, I believe. Or I guess the Cats are going to have Marana re-kick here. So we have a false start going against the Tigers, which I think forces them to replay the down. So it wasn't like Cienega had an option here. 1:42 on the clock. Diego Ruby along with Terrell Hayward back deep, set to return for Cienega. Cats on top 13-7. Bobcats have 2 timeouts left, so they've got clock and time and timeouts to work with here to get some points on the board before the end of the first half. Squib kick.
So it's Donovan Salazar on the kick, and here's Terrell Hayward
Got a lane.
to return. And
a seam!
nobody's going to catch Hayward, but there is a flag on the plate.
Well, I'll be curious to find out what the penalty is here. "97 yards on the kickoff return for a touchdown. Okay, so it's a sideline warning against the Cats. The touchdown stands, and actually you can tell me, Jacob, where did Terrell pick up that football? I think my math was wrong here.
He was at the 15.
Okay, so we'll call it an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Just watching Hayward, and he had a little bit of space there around the 40-yard line. Once he had gotten through that first wave of defenders, it was his speed and acceleration, and nobody could catch him. 85 yards, the kickoff return for a touchdown by the great Terrell Hayward.
Extra point is good, 20-7, Cats lead. I'm sure Marana Tiger coaches aren't too happy over there. You get a good offensive drive, ends up in a touchdown, and then you allow the kickoff return from Terrell Hayward, 85-yard return.
Well, Terrell Hayward can make an argument that he is the best player in Southern Arizona. I think he does that on a weekly basis. I don't think he cares about rankings or those sort of personal accolades or recognition. My goodness, what a return from the sensational senior number 7, Terrell Hayward. The touchdown brought to you by Steamy Concepts. Don't get steamed, call Steamy.
Minutes and 30 to go here in the half. Cats lead 27. The Marana offense will be back.
And you know Marana would love to get into a shootout. They are not afraid of just putting points on the board. They are more adept at scoring than they are at preventing the other team from scoring. So with 1:30 on the clock and 2 timeouts in their ledger, Marana has the ability here with Trenton Bourget to drive down the field and make something happen. Fleet-footed wide receivers, 5 of them. Sterling at catching the football. Oh, nice double fake move there.
Oh, Roebuck was wide open. I think that's a pass he has to catch there.
It floated, it drifted a little bit past him. It was Roebuck on a double move, and it looked like that he got, I don't think it was Hayward on the near side. Burrows at safety drifting over there, throwing his body on the line, right there in coverage to close out. But a difficult catch in terms of level of difficulty there for Isaiah Roebuck, who has had a nice game here tonight. Trenton just let that one sail a little bit.
Escaping pressure is Bourget. Anthony Williams throws him down.
And Trenton has to be careful. That kind of a tackle where you have a player wrapped around Bourget's hips, he got slung or whipped like a rag doll and slammed down to the turf. That's how he was concussed 2 weeks ago against Buena. He's going to be very careful when he's running the football.
Good escape here by Trenton Morgay, running all over the field.
Fumble.
Fumble on the
Ball's
play.
loose.
I think the Cats are on top of that one. Chris Burrows.
Again, Burrows. 2 fumble recoveries tonight. Gets a bear hug from Chase Iverson, the junior, as he comes off the field. Does Chris Burrows. Well, if you play with matches, you are going to get burned. Trent Bourget holding that football like a cell phone in traffic, very loosely, like he's taking a selfie. And he got spun around, and the ball was stripped away. And Chris Burrows diving on the loose, picks in, and a big turnover here for the Cats. With 43 seconds on the clock, the Cats could drop a decisive blow here going into the locker room before halftime. Sloppy on the turnovers.
Hayward in motion. Morales looking to throw. Has pressure and is going to be sacked from behind.
It's a shame. That was a play-action pass. The receivers downfield were covered. Terrell Hayward, it was near side in the flat with nobody 30 yards near him. So if only Luis would have realized that his safety valve, Terrell Hayward, were open here near side, Hayward would have had big yardage after the catch. Cats call a timeout with 35.8 seconds on the clock. I truly feel, Jacob, if the Cats score a touchdown here, that could be decisive.
Yep.
We have not seen Luis Morales throwing the football very often here tonight. Of course, it stands in stark relief against what Trenton Bourget does on a typical Friday night. Marana throwing the ball so much. Sanica's offense looks a little bit archaic comparatively. Sanica a much more balanced attack. Second and 10.
Morales steps up and throws, and incomplete. Drops dead in the middle of the field. He might have slipped there.
Yeah, it might have been under, may have released that football a little bit earlier than he wanted to, feeling some pressure there. The ball is underthrown. He was targeting Ethan White, the senior, on a deep crossing route. 3rd and 10.
32 seconds left. Cats from 3rd and 10. Morales steps up, throws right side, has Terrell Hayward open. That's going to give them the first down, stops the clock by going out of bounds. 26 seconds to go, and it brings up the first down for the Bobcats.
15 yards on the catch and run from Hayward. Nice job leaping there. Gracefully like a gazelle, planting, and then an extra hop to make sure he got the yardage he needed for the first down. 26 seconds on the clock. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's actually plenty of time here with one timeout.
It's a lot for the Cats, the way they break open some big plays.
On the doorstep here, the Red Zone, Pyramid Federal Credit Union, our sponsor.
Plenty of pressure there, but it's Diego Ruby. It's going to be incomplete as he dropped the ball while he was going to the ground.
Had it momentarily. Quick slant there. It was a two-step drop, plant, and throw. Nearly came up with that one. Nice job there from Ruby to elevate to try to get that football. When he hit the ground, the ball popped out, so they're saying it was incomplete.
That's good coverage from Coben Bourget. Now 21 seconds left, 2nd and 10. 4 receivers. Caleb Beard is a blocker. Has Terrell Hayward right side, steps out of bounds. 17.3, clock to stop.
It's always surprising to me that number 7 could get so open. lined up near side in the slot, the best slot receiver maybe in the state of Arizona, for him to do a quick little up and out route to get the chains moving forward for another first down for the Cats. Just able to work so beautifully in space and carve out his room on pass patterns.
Morales from 1st and 10 and has Diego Ruby. Diego Ruby needs to go out of bounds here.
Yep, he should have. The Cats will call a timeout. Extra precious seconds ticking off the clock. And I am surprised, Jacob, that he did not run out of bounds. He had the ability to do so. The clock would have been stuck there with about 11 seconds left. Instead, you lose about 3 seconds of clock time. You're forced to call your final timeout. And now you're here at the threshold at about the 6-yard line. And a chance for 1 or 2 plays here if you want to go for the end zone. It gets a little risky. You want to come away with some points, 3 minimally, but maybe 1 chance here to go into the end zone for a try for a touchdown.
Say that Coach Nugent called the timeout with 11 seconds.
Okay, that's good. They restored about 2.2 seconds back on the clock. That does give the Cats a chance to take a shot at the end zone here. It's got to be a pass play.
Hayward in motion. Sergio Torres, Ethan White in there. Luis Morales, incomplete.
Little drag route there. We have Hayward again in the slot, working his way near side 2 steps, and then a quick out pattern. You have Sergio Torres lined up near side, running a slant into the end zone to draw defenders away from Hayward. And with 8.4 seconds, 1 more chance here to throw it into the end zone.
Throws, and it's going to be overthrown. Sergio Torres.
Smart play there from Luis Morales to throw the ball out of the end zone. Gives the Cats a very manageable field goal here for Ezra. Put 3 more points on the board. Extend the lead to 16 points. Potentially. And it will be a 22-yard field goal attempt for Ezra. False start. So that will make it a 27-yard field goal attempt. Ezra tonight has connected from 40 yards. And he's perfect on extra points. He also has a 33-yard field goal. So 2 for 2 on field goals, and then perfect 2 for 2 on extra points.
Kick is good for Ezra. Figaro sends us into the half with an extra 3 points on the board. 23-7, the Cats lead here in the Cat Fight homecoming night.
Yeah, it's nicely done. Pat Nugent and the coaching staff and the fans wanted to see 6 and an extra point, but you have to be happy with that field goal going into halftime. A little bit of extra momentum here, and I believe Marana opened up on the possession on the opening kickoff. So the Cats should have the opening kickoff here on the return and a chance to even get more separation opening into the second half. So on the whole, I think if you are Cienega, you are happy with what you're seeing here. Certainly the results on the scoreboard, a 16-point advantage, 23-7. But I think also defensively, you've got to be pretty pleased here from the Cats, at least, especially early tackling, putting pressure on Trenton Bourget and containing for the most part the offensive attack and the high octane offense that the Tigers run. I think you've got to be pleased with what you're seeing.
Yeah, and so far the Marana Tigers, they have 3 turnovers. On their second drive, it was an interception by Terrell Hayward. Third drive, it was a fumble recovered by Chris Burrows. And then on their last drive, it was a fumble recovered by Chris Burrows. So three turnovers in the first half. It's not good.
No, it's not. You've got to take care of the football, especially on the road, especially against a good team like Cienega, a team that has their sights set on another conference championship here tonight. In essence, I don't think that Ironwood Ridge can catch Cienega. So if Cienega wins tonight, they'll go to 7-1. They've got Nogales next week at Nogales, and then they'll return home for their final regular season game against vaunted Ironwood Ridge. But the Cats here, and remember in week 3, it feels like a lifetime ago, Jacob, but up at Centennial High School in Peoria, when the Cats had such a difficult loss against the Coyotes of Centennial, the dominant power in 5A in Arizona, Cienega to have the possibility here of running the table of their schedule, winning their games out, and improving to potentially 9-1. We're looking at a team here that will have a very high seed in the 5A state playoffs, and a team with a chance to host not 1 but 2 playoff games, which this fan base in Vail has become so accustomed to doing on an annual basis. It's interesting. I'm going to head down to the locker room and see what I can find out there. I'm not welcome there typically either, so I'm going to try to blend in and lurk in some shadows and be as inconspicuous as I can be. And I'm going to try to find out. I feel so bad for Thomas Webb tonight. We've got homecoming festivities happening right now here at the center of the field, so we'll keep the cameras running into that coverage. And we'll be back with the second half of the action here. Cats on top, 23-7, open road to the Marana Tigers. I'm sure.
All right, welcome back into the broadcast as we are here for the second half on homecoming night for the Bobcats. Cats lead 23-7, and Cienega will receive to start the second half.
Little squib kick going to the far side. Curious.
Will pick it up. Breaks a few tackles there, up to the 26.
Yeah, and I think Diego Ruby had to pick that football up because it looked like it was about to settle in bounds around the 10-yard line. So a good job for him to pick it up and make something positive out of it. Cienega will have 1st and 10 from their own 25. Well, Jacob, I did find out word about Thomas Webb Jr., who was ejected, I think without merit or without cause. And I'll tell you that after this play, what I found out about that.
Cats getting started here, 1st and 10. It will go to Gio Owens, left side. Gio Owens with some room. Let's get some news on Thomas Webb Jr.
So there was a carry near the goal line. He was short of the goal line. What I was told from someone who was right there, who had seen the play, Kelly Haddon gave me the information, one of the assistant principals at Cienega, and what he said was that the tackler dug his helmet and face guard into the legs and probably the calves, the back of the calves of Thomas Webb. Very painful. Thomas was just kicking to like get the pain away from him. It's a normal reaction. The referee ejected him. So highly unlikely or highly unusual outcome or result to happen. We have a player ejected who was at the bottom of a scrum near the goal line, who was just trying to get someone to stop from hurting him deliberately or intentionally. It's kind of like in hockey, not the first person who is seen committing a foul, it's the person who retaliates. In this case, Thomas was just trying to defend himself, and it's a shame that you have a great player, a senior, a leader, high caliber athlete who was ejected, doesn't have the chance to play on homecoming night.
From what we've seen from up here, overall, Thomas Webb doesn't seem like a dirty player or a player to get ejected.
Never. Nope, doesn't carry that way in the classroom. He does not carry himself that way with his peers, other classmates on campus. He's a fun-loving, energetic, highly positive, optimistic individual who leads by example. He excels in the classroom. Mother a teacher, father a principal in the Benson district. So this is not along his character, and that is just a shocking and I think an injustice to eject a player for something like that.
Gio Owens on the handoff. Good stop there. Christian Wood on the tackle. That official might need a security escort tonight.
Yeah, right. Some of these refereeing is not, I wouldn't say it's an easy job. No. You have six officials out there looking across the field. 7 officials.
Morales to throw. It's to Gio Owens. Christian Wood on the tackle. Copenborghe.
I like to see Copenborghe and a nice gesture of sportsmanship there, offering to help Gio up. And I also like to see Gio with 2 hands wrapped on that football, cradling it very closely to his chest or to his stomach. So good job there with ball protection from Gio. Cats about to punt. Again, another factor here, the backup punter for Thomas Webb. And it looks like Gio is going to be punting here.
That's Terrell Hayward down there.
Oh, so Hayward.
I thought it was Matt Slattery, but here's Terrell Hayward with the punt. This one out of bounds.
I'm not going to lie, Jacob. I was expecting 50 yards with hang time on that one because I expect Terrell Hayward to do everything beautifully. That's unrealistic. So it'll be 20 yards net on the punt We know Matthias Slattery, number 63, the junior.
62.
62 is the backup punter. So maybe Matt Slattery gets the next opportunity to punt if the Cats have that option.
If he's even here tonight. I thought he was the backup.
He is. I see him. I just spied him down there about the 45-yard line. You see him standing like upright?
Yeah, I thought he was the backup.
Oh,
Jacob Acosta, Diego Rivas set.
Yeah, he put Zoe Ratliff in the spin cycle, wrapping him up and bringing him down. Loss of 5 on the play.
Second and 5. Wonder why that's not been working tonight. The down and the to go shows you the numbers.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Good cut back in there by Ratliff to get some extra yards.
Team tackling there. Zach Mattis, along with Sergio Torres and Chris Burrows.
Borgay to throw, looking downfield to Ratliff. Sergio Torres with good coverage.
Sergio was fortunate on that one. He did not know where the ball was. He was turned the wrong way, and it was a double move there from Isaiah Roebuck. So we've seen Roebuck a couple of times with that double move, getting some separation there.
The train is kind of just stopped. Maybe watching the football game.
Well, the best was 2 weeks ago. Whoever was conducting that train, boy, they let the whole community know that the train was passing through town. Multiple horns blowing off there.
Oh yeah. Well, here he goes. I think the conductor wanted to watch some football.
Right, just a snap or two.
Yeah.
I would imagine that the life of a train conductor is a lonely one. Just you and your controls there going through open space.
Is there no one else in the train?
There might be a second person.
Third down here for the Tigers. 3 receivers to Borgay's right side, running right, looking right. Chase Iverson with pressure. Borgay tries to run, but Jacob Acosta will get him.
Jacob Acosta sticking with it. Hayward came up in support there. And now the Tigers maybe with an opportunity. 4th and 6, ball at the 46-yard line. They have their punter out there. He's already faked it once successfully, David Bertelson. And the Cats slow here getting their special teams unit on the field. A lot of moving pieces. And it is a fake again, near side, and a first down. Well, that was catastrophic. The Cats were in total disarray. Ethan White had just gotten on the field, had just gotten onside, but nobody was truly set in their position. And a nice run there. It was Justice Edwards, number 10, on the first down on the fake punt. So 2 fake punts, both successful here for the Tigers.
And Luis Ramirez is pulling some nice strings out there, or whoever the special teams coach is, because it's 2 for 2 converted on those punts.
We'll see if Marana can capitalize and sustain the momentum that they have here. Looks like they're going to call a timeout. So Trent Borgay signals a timeout, and they burn an early one here. Down by 16 points with 6:39 on the clock. It's not what you want to see ideally as a Tiger fan, but that's where we are. Hot chocolate sales are Christmas tonight. That's going to be cool.
So update update on the Arizona Wildcats game in Utah. Utah Utes leads 28-0. Khalil Tate was out early with a ankle injury. Jamari Joyner's got in. He's 3 for 4 passing, but now Brett Rodriguez looks like he's the main passer, 6 for 11.
Not ideal. I can't say that I'm not excited to see Jamari Joyner play for the Cats, but I just feel like it's a little bit too early for him.
I was telling you before that the coach, someone must have been seeing something from Jamari Joyner in practice, because at the beginning of the season, he was 4th on the depth chart at quarterback with Kahari Lane, Brett Rodriguez, and Khalil Tate in front of him.
We know how athletic Jamari Joyner is. Anything that he does on any given moment could be jaw-dropping. So I'm sure that someone has the ability to see Jamari and his gift, his athleticism, his speed, his agility, his hand-eye coordination, his arm strength, everything out there is all plus plus. Nice play fake.
Trenton escapes pressure from Anthony Williams and finds no options.
But I do think, Jacob, I do think it's doing Jamari a disservice to throw him to the Wolves at Division I with how fast the speed is of the game, how fast the players are, how big and strong and fleet-footed that they are at that level. I'm sure Jamari didn't get many reps in practice this week because Khalil Tate got all the first-string reps. So it's a very difficult situation, and again, not ideal from my perspective, where you're probably going to burn a year of his eligibility as a freshman at that level.
They send 5 receivers out again. Bourget running right. He's going to take it for himself. And he had a few defenders to beat there. It looked like he might have got the first down, and he does. Sticks will move. Good run there. Escape from Trenton Bourget.
Yeah, coming into tonight's game, 5.5 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns. He was active last week as a runner, 11 carries, 40 yards. So coming off of a week, he missed a week, concussed against Buena at Marana, and then back in action last week against Ironwood Ridge, and has not changed his approach to the game of football. He's going to be aggressive, he's going to run when he wants to, and he's a little bit more careful, I think, when he slides rather than taking hits on tackles.
Same formation here this time, looking left, running left. Coben Bourget breaks 2 tackles, broke 2 defenders there. It was Sergio Torres.
Oh, a late flag.
Yeah.
This is going to be a personal foul for unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness, I think.
And Coben Bourget is hurt down there on the left side of the field.
Looks like he's holding his chest. And Dr. Tyandine is right there attending to him. So we'll wait here momentarily to see how this kind of all sorts or shakes out. Coben Bourget, a nice job of elevating, catching, securing the catch. He was sandwiched between 2 Cat defenders. Sergio Torres was one of them. And then Bourget was able to slip through that and pick up extra yardage, I think, for a first down. So first down just on the play. They'll have additional, probably a half a distance to the goal. So the ball is spotted at the 12 right now. It'll probably be placed at the 6-yard line. Let's see the indication here from the referee. Personal foul going against the defense. So it should be half the distance to the goal line, as Coben is getting up to his feet, which is encouraging. He's had a nice game tonight. 16 catches coming into tonight's game, averaging 23.1 yards per reception, including the big 25-yard touchdown catch tonight. So 4 touchdowns on the year for the junior, number 4, who looks to be okay. But he's taking a long walk around there to get to the sideline if he wants to get back on the field here for this series of downs. Tigers have first and goal from the 3-yard line.
first and goal from the 4.
Mattis.
Zach Mattis right through the line to get Trenton Bourget right away.
As if he were launched from a cannon, Mattis exploding through the line, wrapping the quarterback for a sack.
Allowed nothing to happen.
Sack number 5 on the season for Mattis. He's the leading sacker on the Bobcat defense. They will mix him up in defensive schemes. He'll play linebacker, and they can put him up at the line of scrimmage as a very versatile pass rushing defensive lineman.
Bourget looking to throw. Rolling to his left, he's going to take it. And steps out of bounds.
All the receivers for the Tigers in the end zone, running patterns were blanketed in coverage. Nice job for the defensive secondary for the Cats. Big third down here. This could be 4-down territory.
Oh, and Coben Bourget's back out there.
Yep, good to see him back on the field.
He's been their main target tonight. Flag on the play, they're going to stop it.
Well, a lot of moving pieces there for Marana. So the Tigers have a false start here. We saw Diego Miranda coming in motion to the near side. He is the leading touchdown catcher in that fleet-footed wide receiving core for the Tigers with 6 touchdowns on the season.
So it's going to be third down from the 13-yard line.
Might help Marana a little bit to give them a little bit more space to operate for the wide receivers to run these deeper patterns.
I was going to say, this looks familiar. They got a flag on that one that scored a touchdown. Pushed them back to the 25. They scored a touchdown. Trenton Bourget to Coben Bourget. Bourget to throw here.
Nice pressure.
Too far for Coben Bourget to go get. Pressure forced that one.
Acosta and Anthony Williams applying pressure. The Cats brought one more defensive player there to add some pressure. So a blitz here to force Bourget's hand, and he had to unleash that football or get rid of it quickly.
Looks like they're going to go for the field goal here.
Be a 30-yard attempt for David Bertelson, the senior kicker.
And they need this one.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think so.
It is no good.
May have been some contact there. One of those defenders at the line of scrimmage.
And you saw some of the Cienega defenders on that play. They kind of stepped back because number 33 on that Marana side, we know him. He's tricky. He's run two fake punts. So
right.
Good coverage there by the Cats. No good on the field goal.
Curious calculus from Louis Ramirez on that play. A field goal draws you to within 13, so if that field goal would have been successful, it would have narrowed the gap to 23 to 10. You're still down 13 points, which means you have to prevent Cienega from scoring any points, and you've got to put 2 more touchdowns with extra points on the board. So a little bit puzzling in that situation that they went for the field goal and not tried to go for it on 4th down.
Good tackle there by number 31. That's Ben Cadwell.
And it's easy for me to look in retrospect and criticize the play call there. But if you're trying to win a game on the road, nobody's going to fault you for going for it or doing something unconventional.
Second and 8 here. Morales will keep.
And I must say too, with Thomas Webb having been ejected wrongfully, I will interject here with my opinion. Thomas is the backup quarterback. You have Luis Morales Jr. as your starter. I don't know how much you want to see him knifing forward head first with the risk of getting smacked by another defender's helmet. Third string quarterback we know is Daniel Montana, or Montana.
Terrell Hayward, nice stiff arm. Gets
Yes.
some extra yards.
Yes.
Cut back, gets
Yes.
some more.
Yes!
Terrell Hayward all the way in for a touchdown. Broke one tackle with the stiff arm, and then the other with the cutback.
73 yards on the catch and run. It's shocking to me that Hayward can get open as easily as he does. He's had wide open looks here tonight. That was all him on the catch and run. 77 yards on the touchdown reception by the tremendous Terrell Hayward.
Extra point is good. Cats lead 30-7. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the third.
Well, the touchdown is brought to you by Steamy Concepts. So what a turn of events that was. Cats now up 23 points. Marana elects to go for it. They're in striking distance at about the 13-yard line of Cienega. They go for the field goal. The field goal's no good. And then you have Hayward there on a beautiful catch and run, finding again a pocket of space to operate in. It'd be great to just have a camera trained on Terrell Hayward to just watch him the entire game to see how he operates. So fluid, so smooth, so crafty, and so intelligent in space there operating. Oh, beautiful.
Now I know why Steamy Concepts is the sponsor. Terrell Hayward steamed the defense.
Yes, he did.
Made their carpets clean.
Yeah, yes. Well, the carpeting here at Cienega is also clean. We had some rain earlier today, and that weather pattern just kind of like moved its way through. So what we're left with here is a unseasonably cool evening here on October the 12th, Friday night. And clear skies here. The breeze has settled down, so it's a great night of football. It just feels like playoff football here.
And it's new quarterback in, 21, Ratliff.
So maybe Wildcat, because Trenton was lined up as a wide receiver near side. Well, you're down by 23 points. There's 1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock in the third quarter.
And here Bourget goes as receiver again.
I don't understand it.
Maybe they were watching some South Point Catholic Cienega film from last year.
Is Zoeus Ratliff a better thrower than Trenton Bourget? No. Are you going to score more points with Ratliff at quarterback than Trenton Bourget? No. So why on earth is Trenton Bourget lined up at wide receiver in this situation? I know we have an Alice in Wonderland theme at halftime. It's curiouser and curiouser.
Ratliff pitches it back to Bourget. It looked like a nice play. It is a nice play. Bourget gets a lot of yards here, 20 and more, pushed out by Diego Ruby.
So 26 on the carry, and Bourget had a phalanx of blockers in front of him there. It was an intended wide receiver option pass with your quarterback. Receivers covered downfield. Bourget took off running. Nice block there from 55. Chance Lamy to give him some extra yards.
Ratliff's going to keep this one.
Oh, big hit. Andrew Husfeld with penetration there, levying a huge withering blow and a gain of 1. Jacob, the hits that you know ring true are the ones that get the crowd to go, ooh. And we've seen 3 of those tonight.
screen pass to Trenton.
Again,
Why are you shaking your head, Mr. Miller?
why would you risk putting your quarterback at wide receiver with a chance of getting blown up by Jacob Acosta, a kid that was concussed 2 weeks ago? I think you're doing a disservice to the young man and his overall health and well-being, and I don't think you're helping your chances to win the game tonight. That's why I'm shaking my head.
Now he's back in that quarterback on a third down play. And he has his receiver out of the backfield to Ratliff. First down and more. They could have been doing that all drive long. Just keep Bourget in there at quarterback.
Exactly. And a gain of 20 yards on the play. Trenton thought about running it, and then he looked over to his side in the flats there on the far hash, and he had his receiver Ratliff wide open. So you see what Ratliff's able to do with the catch and run. But I would say a series of puzzling events here, and I'm being very critical, I know, of Marana and their play calling here. You're down by 23 points, you've got to score quickly. And you need your defense to pitch a shutout in the fourth quarter. It's a tall order.
So that first down bring the end to the fourth quarter, or the third quarter. So now here's the fourth. The Tigers will have it with good position. 23-point deficit. They're trailing 30-7.
Right, and they've got the ball in the red zone here of Cienega. So it's a Pyramid Federal Credit Union red zone attack from the Tigers. They've been in the red zone, but they've come up with very few points here in their red zone opportunities. So the defense from Cienega bending but not breaking and really clamping it down when they're in the red zone.
First and 10 from the 20. Bourget down the middle.
Picked!
Intercepted. I think it's Chris Burrows.
It is Chris Burrows, and that's a horse-collared tackle, and it should be a personal foul.
No flags.
I'll throw a shout-out to Steve Schween. Steve sent me a text earlier in the first half. I didn't see it. I'm awful with my phone. I miss so many phone calls and text messages. You can ask anybody who knows me. But Schween is at a weightlifting and fitness conference, I think in Colorado. He's watching the Cats game on television in his dorm room. That takes you back. And he's also watching our stream tonight on his laptop, his Mac. He says Chris Burrows is an absolute animal in the weight room. It's a kid who is coachable, who will work and work and work. We know how undersized he is by that position at 5'8", 134. He has gotten better and better and improved every year from freshman year to now as a senior. A big contributor, a heart and soul leader on this team. 2 fumble recoveries and the pick now. 3 interceptions or 3 turnovers just on his own.
So there's been 4 turnovers in the game. Gio Owens grabbed there by TJ Seffers.
Seffers clinging for dear life onto Gio's jersey. Gio Owens has made a mark here on this game tonight. Seems to be completely healed from the chest contusion, actually the rib. It was his set of ribs on his right side that were bruised. You can only imagine how painful that injury would be for a football player. Every time you go out there, you have a chance of getting racked on your ribs.
Tony Brown comes in. Caleb Beard.
Oh, flipped over. There's a late flag. What's this call going to be?
I flipped over hard on that one.
Wow. To whom is this against? What individual player? So we're hearing coaches up here. I can hear Brett Darling. He's not happy with the officials. He was saying that was before the whistle. So if there was a hit or a block or something that happened late on the play, before the whistle was blown, it should be clean. Well, I know Cienega got robbed on a call last week down at Buena against Sierra Vista. They erased a beautiful pick 6 interception return for a touchdown by Diego Ruby. One that was, I think, was it a 102-yard interception return for a touchdown?
103.
Wiped off the boards. And the ruling on that play was that there was a player that had run on the field celebrating early. Well, it should have been a 15-yard penalty assessed on the ensuing kickoff. So some poor officiating here hurting the Cats tonight. T. Webb being ejected, the biggest thing, the most egregious call here that I have a problem with tonight. Steve Schween is getting his USA Olympic weightlifting certification. Such a huge deal, right? Think about the cachet that brings not only to Coach Schween, who does an amazing job with all the athletes here, but what it does to elevate this school, the school's profile, and their weightlifting profile. Unbelievable. Congratulations to Coach Steve Schween on his USA Olympic weightlifting certification. It's huge.
Zach Mattis here on the reception.
Gain of 2 on the reception, his 4th catch of the season. I see Todd Mattis every game. He is perched with his Penn State hat, the capital S for State College, Pennsylvania, always at the top of the staircase ascending to the press box. And I saw Renee earlier, so Renee Mattis with 3 hot chocolates. Hot chocolate, the sales are going briskly tonight.
Was she sharing or drinking them all?
She was sharing them out and passing them out to other parents there. And I'll say hi to Ty and Nikki Mattis too.
High punts.
Good roll.
Yep.
A beautiful roll.
Down to around the 16.
55 yards net on the punt. So maybe Terrell Hayward can do everything. His first punt was 20. His second punt is 55. So 37.5 net punt average here for Terrell Hayward. Oh, there's Coach Crow. It's always good to see Coach Crow.
Working hard, making sure the snack bar gets going right. It's now Trayson Bourget in that quarterback.
Yep, Trayson, the freshman, out of the frying pan into the fire. He eludes Zach Mattis and ends up getting blistered by Anthony Williams.
So I think what the Marana Tigers are telling the Siena coaches is they quit. If you take your senior quarterback Trenton Bourget out of the game and put in the freshman Trayson.
But why on earth would you put Trenton Bourget at wide receiver? You're going to get contact at the line of scrimmage potentially, and if you catch the football, you are going to get lit up. The players are not going to pull any punches with their tackling. Papow. Case in point. Sergio Torres on the tackle.
Nice sound effects on that one.
I think it's reckless. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's negligent. And I'll say gross negligence. I'll throw a legal term out there, Jacob. I'm not a lawyer, obviously. But I think it's gross negligence. You're throwing a player out there that was concussed 2 weeks ago, and you're throwing him at a wide receiver to see how many hits and how much punishment he can take. I don't get it.
Trayson, deep throw downfield.
Nice catch.
Nice catch there by Tariq Jordan. And it's Frank Anaya who will not get him, and he's in for the touchdown. Tariq Jordan.
So 90 yards on the reception, the catch and run. And Diego Ruby went for broke there on the pass defense, just missed it. He came swatting in like a volleyball player trying to spike the football, and he just missed the football. Tariq with a catch and run. So there's a number to pad the stats for Trayson Bourget. and Tariq Jordan, so quiet coming in statistically, so big here tonight.
I saw some Trenton in that throw. It's almost like they're brothers.
Right. And you would think that the youngest brother might be the greatest of them all, playing underneath these high caliber athletes and always like being around them.
Extra point is good, 30-14. Cats lead.
Well, we did see on film that Trayson Bourget does make some things happen. He has a very strong arm. He's able to read defenses for a freshman very well. And talking to Jeff Bolnow, the safety coach for the Cats, he said, yeah, he's like, I think Trayson's going to be the best of all the Bourgets, of that dynastic family of football players and athletes. So they have, I think, 8 children. Might be wrong there on the numbers, but that's a lot of kids to have in a family, not your typical nuclear family. So they have a large family, and everybody plays sports, and Trayson there making an impact here. That's just what the doctor ordered for the Tigers. You get a quick score, and now we'll see if they go for the onside kick, down by 16 with 7:14 on the clock.
Onside kick here, and it's going to be close.
That's up for grabs, and Marana comes up with it. It was 11. Aiden Tolucci, the junior, 5'7", 150, coming up with the football. Cats have to settle down. This is a big momentum shift here, and a huge emotional shift. The last 2 plays, a 90-yard touchdown reception, and now the onside kick.
Trayson back in there. Tigers down 16 with 7 minutes to go. Trayson looking to throw. Another downfield throw, and it is complete to Trenton Bourget. Nice throw there from Trayson to Trenton.
27 yards on the reception. Trayson to Trenton, you said it. Well, you've got 3 Bourgets out on the field at the same time. Coben number 4, Trenton number 5, Trayson number 20.
Pass there.
Through the fingers of Coben.
Yeah.
Placed right there on target. I can imagine, Jacob, that these 3 boys do a lot of pickup football where they're just throwing around in the backyard or maybe on the block. Certainly in passing league in the summertime, I'm sure they can read each other's thoughts and finish each other's sentences. Trayson might have the strongest arm out of all of them. Oh, double route.
And the receiver is open for a touchdown. Trayson Bourget to Trenton Bourget. And
that's devastating. 19 yards. It was a double move. I was watching Trenton all the way through. He looked as if he was going for a post. He put on the brakes and then did a zag out to the corner of the end zone on a timing pattern, and Trayson found him there for the 19-yard touchdown catch. And Trenton high-stepping here as the Tigers are right back in this game.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I have a smile on my face. Trayson Bourget, the freshman, comes in, gets this offense rolling and throws 2 touchdowns. I think, to be honest with you, that there might have been some arguments down there on the Marana side. I think the way they changed up this offense, they're not handing it off straight through.
Well, it's a unanticipated wiggle here, throwing Trenton back at quarterback, going for 2.
It here and no stop. 30-20 is going to stay the score, but there is a flag on the field.
He's stopped. Jacob Aposta got him, and a curious set of flags being thrown here, drawing the ire of the coaches and fans here. Personal foul, unsportsmanlike face mask. It'll be half the distance to the goal, and it should be a replay of this extra point down. Dan Brown, his law and public safety kids, may have to escort these officials out to the parking lot to their cars and on to Marianne Cleveland Way. You have a hostile crowd here, focusing all of their negative energy on this officiating crew, whose performance tonight has been, let's face it, uneven, and that's a nice way of saying it. Roebuck far side at wide receiver. Coben Bourget far side in the slot. Diego Miranda near side. He's been quiet tonight, but has 6 touchdown catches. He might be a target here.
Wants the ball to 5. Bourget to throw. Has the receiver open. It's Tariq Jordan.
A great catch. Unbelievable catch.
2-point conversion is good.
Tariq Jordan has gone off tonight.
Marana defense is going to have to come up big and not allow a Terrell Hayward kickoff return this time. Last time they gained momentum, Terrell Hayward, 85-yard kickoff return.
Well, if you look at Tariq Jordan, I think he has 6 catches here tonight. A 90-yard touchdown catch to rekindle the Tigers' chances here tonight. And now a 2-point conversion catch from Trenton Bourget, drawing to within 8 points with 6:43 on the clock. So the Tigers a touchdown and another 2-point conversion away from tying this game. We'll see what they do on the kickoff. High squib, far side, dangerous!
Oh, it's caught by the Marana Tigers, number 23. Flags on the play.
Roebuck with the recovery of the kickoff, but it looks like an illegal push-off there, probably against Roebuck, Isaiah Roebuck, on the kick coverage. So apparently he pushed off, and it looked like he was locked in there with Sergio Torres, maybe Chris Burrows on the far side.
I wonder what Roebuck's vertical is. Got up on that one.
That's a good question. He did get up on that. Now, in fairness to him too, he had a full head of steam going up on that one too. So able to take that momentum and lift off for an amazing athletic play there to come up with the kickoff, but pushing off. And I'll be curious to watch that one tonight when I go home to watch this replay tonight. Wow, the Cats here, like a kite in a hurricane, being blown around here, trying to weather this assault from the Marana Tigers and to reclaim some of the momentum back in their favor. Clinging desperately to an 8-point lead.
Cats will start at the 45. Here's Terrell Hayward, and good stop there from the Tigers, and that's what they're going to need.
And you can see defensively there's a little bit of extra spring in their step. There's Bertelsen, the kicker, in there at linebacker for the Tigers, a good athlete. We saw him convert 2 fake punts tonight. And a very quiet crowd here. You can feel the momentum, the energy, a little bit of anxiety creeping in here on the home side.
Bourget gets Ruby on the cutback. Tackled immediately.
And you've got Trenton Bourget out there at cornerback for the Tigers. So Trenton going both ways, along with his brother Coben. in the defensive backfield and also at wide receiver or quarterback tonight. And a little bit of jawboning here. You see Trenton saying something to the Cats on the sideline. Be curious to know what's being said down there.
Nice fake there from Morales.
Yes.
Downfield,
Yes.
Terrell Hayward wide open for a touchdown. Is that Bourget who was on him? I think so.
I think it was. I think it was Trenton, and you called it, Jacob. It was the pump fake. It was the pump fake from Luis Morales that sold that and got Trenton to bite on it, and Hayward streaked past him wide open. The ball delivered exactly where it needed to be. An easy touchdown from Terrell Hayward on the little juke and double move.
Extra point is good by Ezra Figueroa. 37-22. Cats lead with 5 minutes and 8 seconds to go here on homecoming night.
Well, you were prescient tonight. You called it at the end of the first quarter. It was 3-0. Last year, the score was 3-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Yep.
And I think we foreshadowed or we portended here a lot more scoring. And now we've seen the floodgates opening up here with 59 total points on the scoreboard. 37-22, the Cats. Hayward with a hat trick, an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, a 77-yard touchdown reception, and now a 40-yard touchdown catch from Luis Morales Jr.
Kickoff into the end zone.
I wonder too, Jacob, if that little bit of jawboning from those Cats on the sideline to Trenton Bourget and Trenton jawing back to them, if that may have thrown him off ever so slightly mentally in terms of his focus being locked down there on Terrell Hayward. I would say to Trenton, don't get steamed, all steamy.
Right.
Tim Nichols in full throat tonight, the public address announcer for the Cats.
Chasing out to Ratliff, and a gang of Cats there to stop him. First, it was Ruby, then came Chris Burrows.
Burrows dropping the hammer to end that tackle up. Great game from him tonight. 2 fumble recoveries and an interception. He's become an integral part of this team. A playmaker on defense and on special teams.
He's getting a lot more reps because of it. Chasing, intercepted, Jacob Acosta. That wasn't a good, you could have told that one right as it got released. Jacob Acosta right there to pick it off.
And that was Trayson. He's a freshman, so potentially a great quarterback. He has the physical skills and attributes that you want to see in a quarterback. A big, strong arm, good-sized kid at 6'1". Certainly the pedigree is there with his family and all of the exposure that he's gotten to football and watching his brother, a high-level, highly accomplished quarterback play. And that was just a rookie mistake, an inexperienced mistake. Acosta there lurking in the flats, interception.
I think the Acosta put the icing on that one.
Yeah, but I don't think the Cats are going to take their foot off the pedal.
Caleb Beard all the way down to the 1 yard line. Ball comes loose. They'll say he's down.
He should be down. Sniffing the end zone. A gain of 15, and it sets up 1st and goal.
Oh. 1-yard guy.
Right, you don't have Webb going in there, but what you do have is you've got Dylan Silva, whose job is to steamroll a path for the running back, or whoever carries the football.
Trenton, Ronaldo will keep, and it's stuck in the pile. Maybe lost a yard there.
Silva going in motion, trying to plow his way over the hip of the right tackle to get some separation. And then it was Luis just taking a step to his right and trying to knife his way into the end zone. We have an injured Tiger down there right at the goal line. Looks like cramping there. That's usually an indicator of cramping, probably with his right calf, maybe his right hamstring. So nothing serious. 3:21 on the clock. The Cats have a 15-point lead, and they're knocking on the door here at the goal line. They have 2nd and goal for the 3. That is serious. Trying to put an emphatic punctuation here on this game tonight. It's been up and down. Very exciting football game. That's Tariq Jordan. Timeout, Cienega. Well, if you're just tuning in, it's been a lot of excitement, a lot of action here. The Cats opened up the scoring. It was Ezra Figueroa just clearing the crossbar on a 40-yard field goal. Gio Owens dashed 60 yards for a touchdown on a running play. Ezra converted the extra point. And then Ezra, a 33-yard field goal, made it 13-0. Coben Bourget scored on a 25-yard touchdown catch from his brother Trenton. And then David, their field goal kicker, David Bertelsen, converted the extra point, making it 13-7. Terrell Hayward, an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Ezra's extra point made it 20-7. Ezra, his second field goal was 27 yards. Actually, his third field goal, 27 yards, made it 23-7. Hayward, a 77-yard touchdown catch from Luis Morales Jr. Ezra's extra point good, 30-7. And then Marana came back. It was Tariq Jordan, a 90-yard touchdown catch from Trayson Bourget. And then Trenton, a 19-yard touchdown reception from his brother. And then here we are, 2nd and goal.
Morales gives the handoff to Owens.
Oh, almost.
Owens, yep, will be short.
Jordan Morgan, big 77, 6'5", 265 on the tackle. And if one score short there, it was also Hayward with a 40-yard touchdown reception on a beautiful pump fake there and a double move from Terrell, from Luis Morales Jr. Ezra Figueroa's extra point, 37-22. Where we are right now, Marana calls a timeout, trying to conserve some clock here and prevent Cienega from putting any more points on the board. Down 15. Well, the Black Eyed Peas being blasted here over the speakers of Bobcat Stadium. It's always a good party anthem. It gets people in the mood here tonight on homecoming night.
Brewers have beat the Dodgers in Game 1 of the NLCS.
What was the score in that game?
6-5.
Do you know who started tonight for Milwaukee?
I don't.
I know Clayton Kershaw got the nod for the Dodgers tonight. That Brewers team has some magic going with them right now. I would say on paper the Dodgers should be favored in that series, but the Brewers have all kinds of energy and electricity. They also have home field advantage by virtue of their better winning percentage and also winning the National League Central. Think about that. They beat the Cubs, and they took the Cubs down to the last game of the season. There's a touchdown. Caleb.
Yep, Caleb Beard on the touchdown. 1-yard touchdown from Caleb Beard.
Oh, of course, it's a penalty down.
It was after the play.
I love seeing Caleb get rewarded for his hard work and effort there. His 15-yard carry brought the ball down to the 1-yard line. So they were pecking on the doorstep. And then he's rewarded there with the 1-yard touchdown carry. Great season for that senior.
So I gotta say it again. I'll say it. Ezra Figueroa's extra point is good. 44-22.
Nighty night.
What?
Nighty night. That's how I say good. That's how I say good night.
Oh.
Nighty night.
Yeah.
22-point advantage here for the Cats. 2:55 on the clock. We've seen Marana pull some magic out of their hat and score some quick points here. It will take a miracle for them to come back and win tonight. I'm going to turn the heater on in my car when I get in my car and leave this parking lot. And I know people are going to look at me strangely, but I don't care. It's chilly out here. Interesting, a squib kick. Dylan Silva and Jacob Acosta on the tackle. Curious why you would squib it there, unless you're afraid of a big return. But Marana has good field position now at their own 37-yard line with 2:49 on the clock. See Justin Spears down there. It's good to see Justin. I think I saw Art Mata down there as well. So a couple of Cat alum, Bobcat TV alum, working in the business.
Good signal there from Trayson.
Right, directing traffic.
Yeah. Tracy quick pass over the middle to Coben. Coben breaks a few tackles.
.14 on the reception. Diego Ruby levying a strong hit there to the back of Coben Bourget. Coben, Trayson, Trenton, all three brothers have had nice nights tonight. Oh, nice run. Nice cutting. Zoeus Ratliff, or Zoe, as he likes to go by. Nice run.
First and 10. Trayson looking left side. One-on-one down there, and it's going to be a flag. Sergio Torres. Pass interference.
Oh. The catch made. The interference, I agree with, so confirmed. And it will be a 33-yard pass reception by Isaiah Roebuck when it's all said and done.
Is that the ball?
Yes.
I didn't even realize.
Came down with the football despite being interfered with, and Sergio looked a little bit shaken up. Now he comes off the field. Josiah Ware takes his place at right corner. 1:27, the clock now the enemy of the Tigers.
Run here from Ratliff, and he is in for a touchdown. That will get them some closer. 1:17 to go. It's 44-28 now. Going to stay out there and attempt the two-point conversion.
Well, they're down 16, so you're going to need 2 two-point conversions and 2 touchdowns to tie the score.
Trayson dumps it over the middle, incomplete.
Yeah, Tariq Jordan, we've seen him leaping tonight. He was the target intended. Sebastian Felix jumping with him, a la Tecmo Super Bowl on the regular NES. If you ever played that game, you had 2 players leaping at the same time. Sometimes that would trigger kind of like an unlocked freakout in the game with some crazy animation. But if you don't know Tecmo, then it's okay. So 1:17 on the clock here, 16-point deficit. We'll see some sort of onside kick attempt here from the Tigers again. Bobcats have their hands team out there.
And Ruby able to bring it in.
That was impressive. He was mugged. I think it was Trayson Bourget, one of the players, all over him. So a nice job from Diego to catch it and then turn quickly and absorb that hit and hold on to the football. Well done. Well, the Cats will kneel on the football here now. Marana can stop the clock twice. They had 2 timeouts left, but it should be 2 Luis Morales kneels on the football and good night. Or Caleb Beard running somebody over. Caleb now with 4 touchdowns on the season, 8.2 yards per carry on the average. A touchdown tonight. And now he's in there to close this game down with some old school punishing running of the football. That should do it. clock stops temporarily so that the chain crew can move the markers down or forward. And now the clock will resume running here, and that's it.
And that will run out the clock. The Cats win here tonight in Vail, Arizona, 44-28, in a game where we saw many things from the Marana offense. Many different ways to play.
If you want to beat the best, you've got to beat the best. The Cats are better tonight. Marana is a team with a lot of hype coming into the preseason and into the season. Their quarterback, Trenton Bourget, was knighted as the best player in Southern Arizona. Bijan Robinson was listed as number 2. Terrell Hayward was listed as number 3. I know that Bijan Robinson is off the charts athletic. I will take Terrell Hayward. I'll take Terrell Hayward against anybody. Quite frankly, with everything that he can do on the field. We've seen him as a receiver. He is the best receiver. We've seen him as a shutdown, lockdown cornerback. We've seen him as a punt returner, a kick returner. We've seen him as a pass thrower on option passes. We've seen him now as a punter tonight. So what can Terrell Hayward not do is the question that I pose to you. And looking at Hayward tonight here with a hat trick, with 3 touchdowns in superb fashion. And the Cats here tonight celebrating jubilantly another conference championship as they improve the record to 7-1.
And the train coming right in at the. That's good timing for the train to come in like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's symbolic, as if the train has left the station. The window of opportunity that may have been there has closed, and your chances of winning a conference title are gone. And now, this is more important now. The Tigers at 5-3, they are going to be in a very muddled 5A state playoff seeding mix. The Cats furthering their case, solidifying a clamp on a high seed. This is a team that going to Nogales next week, they have a tough game in their final Week 10 regular season matchup against Ironwood Ridge. We know how that team is well coached with Matt Johnson. They love to run the football. They play power smash mouth football. But the Cats here on the cusp here, looking at a 9-1 season again, and a very high seed in the 5A state playoffs, taking care of business at their home field on homecoming night. Things are looking good. Things are trending upward. I know the coaches defensively might look at some things and say we could have done this better, we should have done that better. When it comes down to it, the Cats were trading haymakers. If you want to look at it like a boxing analogy, you've got 2 fighters in there just going at it. Well, the Cats took it. They took Miranda's best punch, and they fired back in their own with some flurries late in the match here, late in this game, to punctuate the game with a win. Hayward 40 yards on the touchdown catch. Caleb Beard a 1-yard touchdown run, and then the Cats just shutting it down on defense. So a well-earned victory here. The players should enjoy this one tonight. The coaches, they work so hard. They should enjoy this one tonight as well. And then I know tomorrow they're back in the film room. They're back in the regular practice here, their preparation. But I really like what I'm seeing, the resolve, the grit, the makeup here of this Cats team under Pat Nugent, Brett Darling as defensive coordinator, and that whole coaching staff, Steve Shreen with weights and conditioning. The job that this group has done, continuing the legacy of success that the foundation was laid by Amber Massey. About 17 years ago, over the Bobcats and perennial contender, and you hear Tim Nichols lasting, we are the champions. That is the anthem of sports when you have accomplished or achieved something, and they deserve this year for their conference crown. And a little bit of, I don't think it's intentional, but it has to be a little bit sour for the Tigers here to come in with a chip on their shoulder, a chance, and they battled gamely, but now they leave here 5-3, and their future is uncertain. It's a very muddled picture if you're trying to read the tea leaves. The Cats have a clear path here. You beat Nogales next weekend, you come home and beat Ironwood Ridge, and you have a very high seed in playoffs, and you'll have 2 games at home which is a huge advantage before you go to a neutral site looking down the line. So congratulations to Pat Nugent and that entire coaching staff and all the players for the Cats.
And Trenton, as he does after every game, in the middle of the field, down on one knee praying.
It's good to see. And it's good to see Brett Darling there giving some credit and some props to Trenton and his brother Coben. And there's Trayson. There are 3 of the Bourguets, the great Bourguet football family. Those kids all showed it tonight. But it's the Cats' night to be jubilant, celebrating their most recent conference championship, and well-deserved. To the victor go the spoils.